Here we are identifying the anions present in 5 different solutions. So we're going to test first for the presence of halide ions. So we need to add nitric acid first, and then we'll add silver nitrate. On the addition of acid, if one of our unknowns contains a carbonate ion, we would see effervescence, so we can note that down as well. And then once we've finished testing for the halide ions, we will then go through and test for sulfate ions afterwards by adding barium chloride to separate samples of the solution. So make sure you've got a suitably designed results table ready, and then you can record the observations as we go through. So first of all, I've already poured my solutions into the different test tubes here. And we're going to add nitric acid to each of these in turn. Okay, so having a careful look, I'll show you each of these, and then you can make sure you've noted down your observations. So this one's still going nicely. Can you hear that as well? Okay, so from adding our nitric acid, we are actually in a position to positively identify one of our anions at the moment. So our next test is then to finish off the halide ion test by adding silver nitrate. Now we'll only do that to the ones that we know are not carbonate ions, otherwise that could result in us getting a false positive result. Okay, so we've got no change in our final solution there in number 5, and then we need to have a careful look at 1, 2 and 4, and then decide which colours we're going for each of these. Okay, so that's 1 and 2 next to each other, and let me bring in 4 as well. I'll hold them up to the white behind. Can you see that there? Okay, so note down your observations there and then decide on any conclusions. And then our final test, we need to keep having a look at solution 5 and decide what's in this one. So I'm going to remove that and put a fresh sample of solution 5 in here. And now we need to test for the presence of sulfate ions. So we know what we've got in each of these already, so we don't need to continue any tests on those. And it's important when you're carrying out analysis experiments not to continue doing unnecessary tests to minimise the amount of chemicals we used and to reduce any risk as well. So we just do the minimum number of experiments required to positively identify our compounds there. So in testing for sulfate ions, we add hydrochloric acid this time because we're going to add barium chloride. So we always make sure we're not adding unnecessary anions as well. Okay, so like we'd expect, similarly to the nitric acid, there's no reaction there. And then adding our barium chloride. There we go. So note down your observation and then complete your conclusions with the identification of the anion in each of the different compounds.